As if driving the entirety of the Pan American Highway in one go wasn't enough adventure, we have wandered into the wilds of Colombia seeking out a route that will be sure to test our confidence in ourselves, make us question our sanity, and possibly scare the shit out of us. But that's what we're here for. Adventures, memories, and stories to tell later on down the road. This is week 2 in Colombia, and we're gonna go do something most people would think is pretty stupid. So buckle up and let's roam. Some roads don't simply exist on a map. They live in your mind, calling to you in your sleep, filling your thoughts at work. The Pan American Highway, a road spanning the length of North and South America, a 30,000-kilometer road trip through more than 15 countries, is that road for us. Life to us is nothing more than a collection of moments, and we want to fill our moments with adventure. So for 18 months, we'll be driving south from ToyotaWorldRunners, Canada, all the way to Ushuaia, Argentina. From the Arctic to the Andes, through deserts, jungles, and the unknown, we'll live and wander in our self-built adventure mobile, seeking stories, chasing landscapes, and redefining what it means to us to be modern-day explorers. This is our journey. After leaving our camp in the small town of Gramalote, we have continued our way south towards the larger peaks of the northern Andes. The views are astounding, the pace is slow, and the elevation is high. For the past day, we have descended and ascended only. There is no such thing as flat up here. These ascents and descents range from 800 to 1500 meters at a time, getting us well above 2000 meters in elevation. Poor Betty is really starting to suck wind. We're on the hunt for a particular route that is nestled at the base of these mountains. But first, we must make our way through to the city of Bucaramanga, then back north to the start of the drive that, once finished, will kiss the ground, but we will never forget. However, before making the descent from the small town of Overland, we'll make a most excellent discovery. Well, we may have just found one of the coolest camp spots that we've found in Colombia thus far. Nothing but cloud, baby. We're up at like 11,000 feet. No big deal. It is places like this that constantly fill our minds, places we dream of as we drift asleep, hidden realms above the world where the clouds don't just crown the sky but roll out like oceans beneath your feet. Standing atop a mountain wrapped in cloud, it feels as though you've stumbled upon a secret sliver of earth just made for you. A sanctuary beyond reach where life's noise fades into silence and the weight you carry simply dissolves. For a little while, nothing asks anything of you. You're free to breathe, to feel, to be, utterly and entirely present. It's places like this that call to us, quietly but endlessly, a pull we feel deep in our chest. And when we find them, we don't want to leave. We dream of staying, of letting time slow, of sinking roots into the soil and simply existing. These places feel rare, yet South America promises to hold them in abundance. Wild, sacred corners of the world that feel both entirely unique and strangely familiar. We haven't yet reached them all, but somehow we know they're waiting, just ahead, scattered like breadcrumbs on the long road south. Fleeting, beautiful moments that will belong to us, if only for a while, before we move on again. Despite the yearning to remain here, to watch the world pass by, we are in a stage of life where we must pass through the world, soaking in its wonders, collecting its memories, so that when we find a place to sink roots down into the earth, we can return to the memories when we yearn to once again wander.
I feel like I just got out of a hands dryer or a blow dryer.
Hands dryer.
Hands dryer, yeah. Whew. So we found ourselves in a mountainous wonderland. I can't describe to you how happy we are to be up in the mountains where it's cool, where it's treacherous. The wind is howling all night long, just shaking the van. We both have headaches from elevation because we're almost at 11,000 feet right now and pretty much just came straight up the mountain from sea level-ish. Well, no, 1,500 meters, but anyway, we're loving this. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cold.
Alex
so
can
cold.
finally appreciate Betty again. Keeping us warm and protected from the whipping wind and the
instead
cold.
of cooking us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've got a big drive day ahead of us, another one. This route is actually, we checked it on the map, and it'll actually take us, if we follow this long gravel route down the mountain, it'll take us to where we want to go, which is Bucaramanga. And from there, we're going to go drive a really cool gravel route and then into the mountains again. Yay.
I haven't spent much time in the Swiss Alps, but from what little I have seen, it's left a resounding sense of familiarity as we travel through the Alps-like hillsides of Colombia. I keep on catching little scenes that make me question if we're here or in Europe.
Buenos días. Ostres, what town is this? Tona. Buenos días.
Buenos días, ¿cómo les va?
Bucaramanga.
Sí.
Vamos a Bucaramanga, son extranjeros.
Sí. Canadiense.
Bien. ¿Portan algún documento?
Sí. Sí.
Sí, todo el país de América Sur.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevan aquí en Colombia?
1 o 2 meses.
¿2 meses?
Sí,
¿Y cuánto
tal
más
vez.
se van a demorar?
1 año más para todos viajar.
No gringo, solo canadiense.
Muchas gracias.
¿Todo
Muy
bien?
amables. Feliz día.
Gracias.
Well, that was a little, I don't know.
Fun little police check.
Fun little police check. We do actually get them quite often. We've had, I think, 2 other police checks in Colombia thus far, and they're all very cordial, and some take a little bit longer than others. They're just checking documents and stuff.
Nobody's cared about our Colombian insurance so far.
Yeah.
Good thing. Good thing we have that.
So we're not really sure what they're checking, but yeah, there's actually a pretty strong police presence here in Colombia. We see them everywhere, and from what we've heard, Colombia in general is trying to increase their tourism. So I think that just means a crackdown on crime, which is really nice to see, and yeah, it makes us feel pretty safe.
Eventually, as we descended closer to sea level, the foliage changed from pine trees and sparsely placed flora to dense jungle-like foliage. Connecting back up with the highway we had departed near Berlin, our descent quickened and we were soon passing through the busy and chaotic streets of Bucaramanga. From there, we would continue to descend all the way to a mere 100 meters above sea level, a not insignificant descent of 2,500 meters from our camp spot that morning.
I just want a pineapple, she says.
Winds up with a 24th lot of eggs.
30 gorgeous eggs, 10 million bananas, and a pineapple.
How much did you spend?
$12.
So the route we're driving today is a route that, if you watch Top Gear, you'll know this route. And I didn't actually find out about it through Top Gear. I found out about it through our friends Matt and Stacey. They drove this route 2 years ago, and recently our friends David and Ellie of Yak Overland also drove this route. And mainly I want a piece of it as well. I saw it and I was just like, I have to drive that. So over the next day, we're going to be driving the Ferrovia, or the Iron Road. Via Ferro. Ferrera. I sure did my research. Yeah, and it's just a route that has like a whole bunch of really narrow bridges. So just here to scare ourselves, I guess. Let's go.
First air down in how long?
months. We've just been on, I mean, kind of side gravel roads, and yeah, it hasn't been anything too difficult. One of the many bridges, you can see how wide they are. Not very wide, but whatever. We've got heavy traffic on the Via Ferrata today. Looks like driver is going to be held up for an additional 5 minutes until they pass the slow tractor up ahead.
This route that we had found ourselves on was a small point of contention between the two of us. As soon as I had learned of its existence 2 years previous, I told myself I'd do it. But after spending months in the heat of Central America, being back in a hot and humid jungle just to drive a relatively flat and bumpy gravel road was not something Meg was particularly interested in doing.
South, we follow the river until we don't.
It's an old train station, Alex says.
Totally.
Is it?
Yeah.
And there was baby cows.
That was the best part. The baby cows. They were all just waiting for the train. That bridge is too narrow.
Hopefully the long, narrow bridge at the end of this route isn't also too narrow.
The first time that came open. So deep. Meg's in a bad mood, so she's gonna go and see if she can feel better with the possible baby cow visit. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Officially happy Meg. Was that the best thing ever?
I think we could fit it in the van.
You want to fit it in the van?
Yeah.
Are you going to clean up its poop?
She didn't smell, and she was soft, and she wasn't scared. Oh.
So cute.
We bridge. Oh my God, darling. There's no way I'm driving over any of these. Wow.
If you're enjoying this film and want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It's a free and easy way to help our videos make it to a wider audience.
This doesn't seem too friggin'... This doesn't seem wide enough for Betty.
All of the bridges we had crossed before now were more narrow but short. This one was the first of which I could look through the passenger window to the river far below, a fall that would spell certain death if such a scenario played out.
Was that scary?
Yep.
It was? Oh my god. You said that was scary?
Oh yeah, totally.
What the heck?
Looking down?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Don't. Stop.
Oh boy. It's a good time for a thrill.
No, it's not. After 7.5 hours of driving.
Yeah. Need to find camp.
2 hours of driving more, and we found camp, considerably further into this route than we had intended.
That's about as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah. This is pretty nice, actually.
Wow. Warm in that van.
Open the doors. Open the doors. So, I definitely didn't really want to be here right now. I hate to be a downer, but we kind of had to like backtrack, go way out of the way to get here, and I thought we were kind of done with the heat, but we have plunged back into it. It was like 40 degrees today. And yeah, I'm just really tired and not feeling very great, and I don't feel like being on this bumpy road and doing scary things with the van. So yeah, I was kind of complaining a bit and being a downer on Alex's parade. Not to mention we started driving at 9:30 a.m. today, and it is 6 p.m. now. We found a really nice spot, actually. It's not really a spot, it's just like a makeshift parking place that's big enough for the van, but it's pretty scenic and amazing. But yeah, we're almost done the route. That wasn't the plan at all. We were supposed to start tomorrow, but yeah, see you tomorrow.
The next morning, we were back on the road early. Having driven as far as we had the day previous, the collection of larger bridges weren't far off. Soon, we would be having a face-off with our mortal opponents, fear and apprehension.
I never called it an off-road route. I never called it an off-road route. I just called it like an old train track.
If you say so.
I think it's just like getting my brain around the fact that it's okay that there's no railings, but you know, just looking down at the water, I'm like, there's nothing that's really stopped the van from just like going into the water. If I
don't let your intrusive thoughts win.
I won't. We have to make it to the end of this road. Look at him. He's like a cartoon.
Despite being a deserted railway, this route presents a few small technical sections, results of the continuous reclaiming of the riverbanks by the aggressive rainy seasons here in Colombia.
Who's in my lap? Hi. Just trying to get the shot. What's up? Yes, you are. You are.
Then we'd found the second larger bridge, this one a little bit taller and seemingly a little bit narrower. A slow and continuous crawl and fixation on the middle of the bridge, and I had made it across safely.
think I'll be okay. It's a little bit scary. Oh my god. Not to like her. Oh my god, I have to take breaks. My intrusive thoughts are flaring. So I told Alex I can't drive over these bridges and I can't fly the drone because I think I'm just too scared to let my intrusive thoughts get the best of me. Like, you know when you're hiking along a ridge and you think, oh, like what if I just like fell or threw myself off this cliff? That's how I feel right now. Like, what if I just like step and fall through the cracks? And if I was driving, I feel like I'd be like, what if I just jerk the wheel and we go plunging to our death? Anybody relate?
This woman scares me sometimes.
I'm shaking. I feel like I'm about to crawl. See? My feet aren't big enough to get 2 at a time. This one looks slightly more terrifying.
The next bridge was a little less straightforward in the literal sense.
I'm scared. Alex said they're not scared. But I'm scared.
With a slight curve to the bridge, I would need to consider the off track of my back wheels. Although the curve is quite gentle, it's just one more thing to keep track of on top of not dying. Although in reality the bridges are wide enough to accommodate a vehicle even wider than Betty, the mental game that I was playing in my mind was more of a battle of logic and animal fear. I have found as I have gotten a little older that I like heights a lot less, and being on the edge like this certainly had the adrenaline flowing.
I'm shaking. I don't like this.
Well, because it's so hot and we're so close to water, we're gonna go jump in one of these pools under the bridge. Whew.
After washing off the stress sweat, we were on our way again towards the final bridge, only a few hundred meters down the road. And here we go.
bouncing and wobbling.
Admittedly, this was probably the scarier part of the last bridge. The railway ties stretched across which were notably shorter than the width of the metal decking and seriously uneven, made for a bumpy ride. Combined with front shocks that are likely in need of a rebuild, it felt as though the van could just hop off the side into the trees far below.
I'm shitting bricks right now.
Are you?
That was so scary.
It wasn't that scary from over here.
I was in the
Are
van.
you shaking?
Holy moly.
I can't believe you stopped for so long. I just didn't approve of that one bit.
That wasn't that bad.
Alex drives, which I really am grateful for, but I have to stand outside getting all the mosquito bites, so
She's doing the real
I'd
work.
say I'm the hero here.
And with that, we were nearly done the entire route and returning back to tarmac. Despite initially not wanting to drive here, Meg was excited by the fact that we had completed such an iconic piece of gravel, and I was, of course, thrilled as well. An opportunity like this to experience what I consider safe fear is one we don't often come across where we're from. This is an experience that we feel lucky to have, one I think will play some role in shaping the people we're striving to be. Perhaps one day it will inform our resolve on something far more frightening or challenging. Who knows?
After the bigger ones, this one is our last bridge.
Hi, River. Hi, Bridges. A celebratory lunch of turkey sandos and mayonnaise chips.
Van cool for a second. And we're gonna go check out this view because it's incredible. This country is absolutely blowing us away.
With the bridges route behind us, we're making our way back into the northern Andes towards high elevations, cooler weather, and more challenges. Nestled amidst these mountains is the last remaining glacier in Colombia, located in Parque Nacional El Cocoy. There, we will stay for a few days to acclimate before making a hike to nearly 5,000 meters and the base of the glacier. But of course, as things go here, there are a series of significant climbs and ascents to be made before we reach the small town of El Cocoy. Construction zones like this were plentiful along our drive. It's incredible the kind of resources that are applied in the mountains in an attempt to thwart the continuously collapsing hillsides. The rainy season here is really
bridge.
nothing to laugh at. It is intense.
Smokes. Oh, holy smokes!
What happened?
Like the whole thing just collapsed or something. Wow.
That's scary.
Yeah, big time. Oh yeah.
Our drive day continued to drag on, the winding roads, construction, and traffic continuously compounding the time we had until our camp spot destination for the night. At times, it seemed like we weren't really moving at all, our arrival time constantly updating to later than when we had started out.
It says peligro. If you don't speak Spanish, that means dangerous.
Spot? It's raining pretty hard.
Well, there you go. 9 hours and 39 minutes move time.
Oh my god.
That was a heck of a lot longer than we intended it to be. Rotisserie chicken, locally grown potatoes, locally grown broccoli. All of the deliciousness.
Alex's favorite dinner.
Oh yeah.
Do you want
Let's
some
eat.
salt on your broccoli?
Yeah. I've already had my first potato. It's like heaven. Heavenly potato. Those are good potatoes.
Whoa.
We got these potatoes from
Berlin.
Berlin. Yeah. So good.
Hi, dog. Hi. Yeah, you're a cutie, but you're a battle dog, aren't you? Look at all those scars on your face. Oh, you're very cute, though. Yeah.
Although we hadn't arrived in the dark, we had arrived in dense cloud, so we knew nothing of what we could see from where we had parked the night before. When we awoke, a grand vista stretched out before us, a welcome prize for the long day of driving we'd subjected ourselves to. So last night we parked up about 2,600 meters, which is like a perfect elevation for us to go to sleep while we acclimate to a far higher elevation. We've got about 3 hours, 4 hours, probably more to get to El Cocoy, where the national park is. And then we're going to be there for, I think, 2 days, just acclimating, because we're going to be hiking from 4,000 meters to 5,000 meters on this 20-kilometer hike. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's incredible out here. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a real good boy. Honey. You Willow's brother. The remainder of our drive that day would take us through more landscapes that reminded us of places we'd been. Like here, where we got hints of the Fraser Canyon and Okanagan Valley in British Columbia. It would seem that Colombia has a little piece of everything, which leaves us really excited to see what more we'll find in this incredible country.
Should we go for a dip? Swimming in the brown tunnel. Rapids.
Thank you for being here along with us on this journey. We hope our stories and our experiences spark something in you. Maybe it's a bit of curiosity. Maybe it's the urge to get out and explore this big, beautiful world for yourself. Now, go chase that next adventure and make the kind of memories that stick with you. Until next time, keep on roaming. If you would like to see behind-the-scenes content, get route and camp spot information, or if you'd just like to help support us by putting some gas in our tank each month, you can contribute on Patreon. And oh hey there bud, before you go, don't forget to go on over to slowroamers.com to get yourself some rad Slow Roamers merch. For additional photos and commentary on this journey, you can follow along on Facebook and Instagram. Well, holy moly, I'm sure as heck happy to not be dead. That was scary. Alrighty, Colombia, let's see what you got next.